Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we got the Texas Rangers traveling to Toronto Blue Jays for game one of a three-game series in the post 1961 Apba Bats League. Leading off for the visiting Rangers, playing center field is Rivers. Batting second, playing second is Kinsler. Batting third, playing left field is Hamilton. Batting fourth, playing first base is Palmera. Batting fifth, playing right field is Howard. Batting sixth, doing the catching is Rodriguez. Batting seventh, playing third base is Blaylock. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Andres. And on the mound, doing the pitching is Nolan Ryan for the Toronto Blue Jays. Hometown team. We got leading off, batting second, Alomar. Batting second, playing short, Fernandez. Batting third, playing first, Olerud. Batting fourth, playing third base is Guerrero Jr. Batting fifth, playing right field is Barfield. Batting sixth, playing center field is Wiles. Batting seventh, playing left field is Stewart. Batting eighth, on the catching is Witt. And on the mound, batting ninth is Alexander. Down here to the game. Get this thing started, folks. And you see the team comparisons there. You got the Texas Rangers 2-0 with 8 runs, 5 homers, 2 stolen bases. Toronto 1-1, 7 runs, 1 homer. And to lead it off is Mickey Rivers, batting .375 with a homer and 2 RBIs, going up against Doyle Alexander. And Alexander in 1984 was 17-6 with a 3.13 ERA. Let's take a look here at the Rangers. Like I say, they are leading the American League West by a half a game over the Mariners. Got Rivers batting .375. Rodriguez 250, Gear 200, Hamilton 200, and Buddy Bell at 500. And John Madlock with 8 innings and 1.12 ERA. How about Dick Bozeman, 7 innings and no runs? And let's get down here to the game and get this started. Hey, Dave. Dave's back with us this afternoon. And here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be a ground ball down to John at first. He takes it himself, calls off Alexander for out number 1. And Kinsler comes to the plate. And he's looking for his first base hit of the year, 0 for 3. And that's going to be against the righty. And that's going to be a fly ball. Vernon out there in center field makes a nice catch for out number 2. Now you got Josh Hamilton up. And Hamilton's batting 200 with no homers and no RBIs. That's going to be another lazy fly ball out to center. 1, 2, 3 goes the Rangers. To the bottom of the first we go. You got Alomar, Fernandez, and Olerud due up. And Roberto Alomar off to a great start, batting .667. No homers and no RBIs. And this is Nolan Ryan's first appearance of the year. And in 1989, he was 16-10 with a 3.2 ERA. And let's look here. Toronto is 2 games back of the Yankees. Vernon Wells is batting .375. Tony .400. And like I say, Alomar at .677. Jimmy Keese got an ERA of 6.43. Dave Steve 11.25. So starting pitching ain't been that great for him. We'll see what happens here today. And here's the pitch to Roberto. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And Nolan strikes out his first victim of the year. And now you got Fernandez up. And he's batting .400 with no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Kinsler's up with it. Fires over to Palmera for out number 2. And up to the plate now is John Olerud. And he's looking for his first hit of the year. And that's going to be another ground ball down the second. And 1, 2, 3, quick inning for the Jays. We go to the top of the second, no score. Palmero, Howard, and Rodriguez due up. Raphael's batting .500 with no homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a base on balls. So the lead-off batter gets aboard here in the second. And up comes Hondo, Frank Howard. And Howard's batting .250. He's got a homer and an RBI. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out the center field. Wells makes the play for out number one rather. And here comes Ivan Rodriguez. And he's batting .250 with no homers and 2 RBI. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one out the bar field. Jesse makes the catch. 2 quick outs after the leadoff walk. Can Blaylock do something now with 2 outs? He's 0 for 3 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Alexander strikes him out. Rangers strand 1. To the bottom of the second we go. Guerrera, Barfield, and Wells due up. And Vlad Jr., he's looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 5. And that's going to be against the righty. 14, and that's going to be an infield hit. Guerrera's aboard here. Leadoff batter gets a hit against Nolan. Brings up Jesse Barfield now. And Barfield is batting .250 with no homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's going to be a hit by pitch. And Nolan right away plonks a guy. Now you got runners on first and second. Nobody out. Jesse crowding the plate. Nolan gives it to him. And Vernon Wells comes up, batting .375, no homers and an RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Nolan comes back and strikes out Vernon for out number 1. That brings up Stewart now. And Stewart's batting .677 with no homers and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's going to be another hit by pitch. And Nolan's is playing wild here now, folks. Hits the batter, bases are juiced. And Ernie Witt and these Blue Jays ain't very happy. Nolan Ryan's showing his stuff today. He's not taking nothing. Keeps throwing inside if they want to crowd the plate. But that brings up Ernie Witt. Batting .667 with a homer and 2 RBIs. No place to put him. Ground ball would do wonders here with the catcher up. They can get the double play ball. And that's not going to happen because that ball is well hit out in left field down the baseline. And talking about not having very good wheels, but that bounces around out there. And Ernie's turning for third, and he's going to make it. That's going to be a 3 RBI triple for Ernie Witt. And Witt clears the bases, folks. Just like that, it's 3-0 Toronto. A runner still on at third and only 1 out. And Rangers are going to bring the infield in. So the 2-hit batsmen come around the score. Doyle Alexander's up now, his first plate appearance of the year. Infield in. That's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out for out number 2. Now Alomar is up. And Roberto's 0 for 1. He struck out against Nolan. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Rivers. That'll end the inning. But 3 runs come across on their Ernie Witt triple. And it's 3-0 Toronto. You got Elvis due up, and then Nolan, and then Mickey. And Elvis, he is 0 for 3 on the year. And not anymore, because he gets a hold of this. This might turn into a slugfest all of a sudden now, folks. And that is going to be a double in the right field. And the Rangers got the leadoff batter aboard here. And Nolan's going to try to bunt him on down the third. And Ryan's first plate appearance of the year. And that's going to be two balls on him. Yep, here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be a 35. And he's going to pop that ball up to first. And John Olderud's going to make the catch. And the base runner stays put. Nolan can't get the bunt down. That brings up Rivers now with a runner still at second. 1 out. Mickey's 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be against the righty of 14. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And a 62 and a 9. I might be fielding 3. Nope, that's barely fielding 2. And the runner's going to hold as Tony grabs it, fires over, and the runner stays put. So the leadoff double hasn't moved yet. It's up to Kinsler here to get a run across the board. He ends 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. And not this time, folks. That ball is driven into the gap in left field. And the Rangers are aboard here. It is now 3-1. And we're still down at second for Josh Hamilton. And Hamilton's 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time up. And back-to-back hits here. Hamilton will probably drive in Kinsler, even with a single with his speed. And that's going to be another double, back-to-back doubles. And they cut the lead in half. It's now, by 1, it's 3-2. And all of a sudden, the time runs down at third. And Rafael Palmera, who walked, is up. And that's going to be a 37. The pitcher. That's going to be a rare play. Let's make sure. 61 and a 2. Nope, that'll be fielding column 2. And that'll be a balk. Unless he's a BK0, and he is. So it is going to be a rare play. It's going to be a balk. Nope. They say no balk, but a rare play on a 37. A 62 and a 37. That's going to be hit out to right field. Jesse Barfield's out there. And a 54 and a 3. And that's going to be column number 1. And that's going to be a fly out. And that'll end the inning as Palmera flies out to right. But the Rangers score 2 and get right back in this game. It's a 1-run game. So we go to the bottom of the third. You got Fernandez, Oderud, and Guerrera due up. Tony is 0 for 1, grounded out. And not this time. He turns on this one. Drives that ball in the right field. Howard gets over, holds him to a single. You can see the team comparisons. Texas 2-0, batting .269, .306 on base percentage, slugging .495 with an .801 on base per OPS. And Toronto 1-1, batting .242, .324 on base percentage, slugging .516 with an OPS of .840. And John's up. He's 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be against the righty. That'll be a 10. And that's going to be a single in the left field. So another leadoff batter. So you got 2 on now. And nobody out. And Guerrera's up. He's 1 for 1. He singled and came around to score back in the second. And that's going to be a foul ball back behind the plate. Pudge makes the catch for out number 1. And Jesse Barfield comes up now. 1 out. Runners on first and second. He got hit by a pitch and came around to score. And that's going to be batted ball out in front of the plate. A 34 and a 9 should be fielding column 1. and it is. That's going to be a single to right, runner out trying to score, and other runner's going to get the third. So a single out to right field, and Howard throws him out trying to score from second. Yeah, runner on first will get down the third. So now we got first and third, 2 outs, and still a 3-2 ball game. Nice play out there by Frank Howard. What happened there? The runner didn't get down the third here. Let's do an undo. So you had Fernandez, a single, runner on second, and then why isn't it sending him the third? One more try here. What the world's going on here? So we got a single in the right, single in the right field. Runner on second gets thrown out, and the runner on first advances the third. And there we go. Finally, now you got Vernon up, and he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, and that's going to be a 16 and an 8. And that's going to be another base hit. And that's going to be hit in the right field. And Barfield is going to make it the third easily. And now it's a 2-run game again. And you still got runners on the corners. And a 4-2 ball game. And up to the plate now steps Stewart. And he got hit by a pitch and came around the wall. And that's going to be a 13. And that's going to be popped up out in the shallow left field. Hamilton comes charging in, makes the catch for out number 3. But one more run scores. Toronto's back to a 2-run lead. We get to the top of the 4th. It is 4-2 Toronto. You got Howard, Rodriguez, and Blaylock. Frank's 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Fernandez at short for out number 1. And Pudge Rodriguez is up now. He's 0 for 1 today. He flew out the right, but not this time. This ball is driven into the outfield. And that ball is high. That ball is far. And it's back to a 1-run game, folks, as Pudge Rodriguez gets a hold of this one. And it's a 4-3 ball game. And now we got Blaylock up. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And he gets a hold of it. And this is definitely a slugfest here today. And that ball is hit hard in the right field off the wall for a 1-out double. And the tying run is in scoring position. And here's Elvis. And Elvis, he doubled and came around to score back in the 3rd. Can he drive in a run now as we drop the dice? And that's going to be an 8 against a 15. And that's going to be a ground ball. It'll be hit down the short. And a 64 and a 9 is probably going to be fielding column 3, and it is. And the runner will get down the 3rd. He'll fire over to first. So now you got a runner at 3rd, and Nolan's up. Can Nolan help his own cause here, folks? Nolan tried to get a bunt down, popped it up to first his last time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Nolan strikes out. But the home run makes it a 4-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. You got Witt, Alexander, and then back to Alomar. Ernie with that big 3-run triple back in the 2nd inning. And that's going to be a 9 against the 13. And that is going to be an infield hit. Ernie is showing off his wheels here today, folks. An infield hit, a triple. Something you wouldn't expect from Ernie Witt. Alexander's up now, going to try to bunt him into scoring position. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a bunted ball down to third. Blaylock's up with it, fires over the Palmero to get the batter, but the runner will advance. And we got a runner on second now. One out and back to the top of the order. And Alomar's up. And Roberto's 0 for 2. He is struck out and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And actually, it's a line drive down the short. Nope, it's a K. He strikes him out. Nolan strikes him out for out number 2. And up to the plate now is Fernandez. Tony, 1 for 2 today. And we drop the dice again. Make sure this is an official game. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart, Elvis, at short. And that'll be out number 3. That ends the inning. And the Blue Jays strand Ernie down at second. We go to the top of the 5th. And a 4-3 ball game. And we'll have the top of the order due up here for the Rangers. Rivers, Kinsler, and Hamilton. Mickey is 0 for 2. He is grounded out twice. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be another ground ball just down the second. Over to first for out number 1. And Kinsler's up now. Ian is 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the third. That's going to be a lazy fly ball out the Barfield for out number 2. And it brings up Hamilton now. 2 outs, nobody on. He had an RBI double back in the third. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 goes the Rangers. To the bottom of the 5th we go. And you got Olerud, Guerrera, and Barfield due up here. John's 1 for 2, singled and scored in the third. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Howard for out number 1. And Guerrera comes to the plate. And Vlad's 1 for 2, singled and scored in the second. And that's going to be another fly ball out to Howard. 2 fly balls to right, 2 outs. Quick 2 outs for Nolan. Brings up Barfield. Oh, they should have been strikeouts. Let's go back. I'm forgetting about him having a K. So we just go back here twice and give him 2 strikeouts. Forgot about him having the K factor. So he strikes out John. And he strikes out Guerrera. Now there's 2 down. Can he strike out the side here? Sorry about that, Nolan. He's up to 6 strikeouts. Jesse's 1 for 1 today. Been hit by a pitch. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Nolan Express strikes the side out, folks. We go to the top of the 6th, 4-3. Toronto. You got the big boys due up here for the Rangers. Palmero, Howard, and Rodriguez. Raphael's 0 for 1. He walked back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Tony for out number 1. And now Frank Howard, old Hondo's up. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Vernon for out number 2. So it's up to Rodriguez to get something going here in the top of the 6th. And Rodriguez hit a homer his last time up in the 4th. And they don't want no parts of him. That's going to be a rare play, though. A 66 and a 36. And that's going to be hit out the left field. Stewart's out there. And that's going to be a nice catch by Stewart. And that'll end the inning. And the Rangers go down in order. To the bottom of the 6th we go. And we got Wells, Stewart, and Witt due up here. Vernon's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. And that's going to be a double. Vernon gets a leadoff double here to start the 6th inning. Already up by 1. Nolan's got to try to keep that runner at bay. And that brings up Stewart. He's 0 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch and scored. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And a 52 and a 7 is probably going to be fielding column 3. And it is. And that. So let's see here if the runner gets down to third. Out at first, runner to third. Yep, so he'll get down to third. And that'll force the infield in with 1 out. And Ernie Witt, who is a perfect 2 for 2 today, folks. He has a 3 RBI triple and a single in this game. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. No, it's not. That's going to be another hit by pitch. Nolan nails him, folks. That is Nolan's 3rd hit by pitch today. He is something today. And that brings up Alexander. I guess that's quicker than walking him on 4 pitches, just nailing him. He's doing the Don Drysdale act. Let's see here. Alexander is going to try. They're not doing a squeeze. They're just going to try to bunt Ernie down the second. And that's going to be a 32. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Only play is going to be over to first. And that'll get the runner over to second. The runner on third will hold. And we got second and third now and 2 outs. And up to the plate is Alomar, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice against Nolan. Can Nolan give him the old hat trick here? And that's going to be against a righty, a 10. And that is going to be a fly ball out the right field. Howard makes the catch. Nolan gets out of the mess with nobody scoring. To the top of the 7th, we go 4-3, Toronto. And you got Blaylock, Elvis, and a pitch hitter for Nolan due up here in the top of the 7th. And Hank is 1 for 2 with a double. And that's going to be a base on balls. And that's going to get the bullpen up for Toronto. Elvis comes to the plate now. And Elvis is 1 for 2. He's got a double in this game. And came around the score back in the 3rd. That's going to be against a 15 and a 10. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. A 52 and a 9. That'll be fielding column 1. And they'll get the runner out at second. Won't be able to turn 2 here. That'll be a 4-6 put out. Now you got Elvis at first with great speed. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Nolan Ryan. He's going to come off the bench here. And old Tex Mark's going to come off the bench. See if he can tie this game up or maybe even give the Rangers the lead here. And Tex, he is 1 for 4, batting .250 on the year with no homers or no and 1 RBI. Here's the pitch to Mark. 1 out, 1 on. And that's going to be a catcher. 33 and an 8. 33. That'll be fielding column. Ball runner called off first. What was Elvis thinking? That's a pickoff. Not what you wanted there. He picks him off at first. Now there's 2 outs. Nobody on for Mark. And here's the pitch to Mark. And of course, he gets on base. Well, he walks now. Alexander didn't have to deal with him, and now he's got Mickey up with a runner on at first. And Mickey's 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. And that's going to be a ground ball. Back. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. Doyle strikes him out. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 4-3 for Ronsville. What we got here? And let's see who's going to come out of the bullpen here. You got what? Switch hitter and lefty and a righty. So do they got a lefty in the bullpen is the question. No, they don't. So it really doesn't matter about righty lefty. So the Baldwin's going to come in the game. As Ken Castro joins us. So where is Dave at? There's Baldwin. He's in a 1.7 ERA. And he'll be facing Fernandez, Oderud, and Guerrera. And Tony's 1 for 3. He singled back in the 3rd. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Kinsler. He bobbles it. That'll and that's just great. So that was an E6, not an E4. And John's up now with a runner at first, nobody out. And John's 1 for 3 today, singled and scored in the 3rd. Infield hit. And all of a sudden now 1st and 2nd. And still nobody out. Baldwin's not doing a very good job, and his defense ain't helping him. 1st and 2nd, nobody out for Guerrera. He's 1 for 3, single. Second, 31 and a 7. And that'll be fielding column, barely fielding column 2. That's going to be an infield fly. Rules in effect. That'll be out number 1. And now Jesse Barr. And that's going to be another ground ball down the 2nd. 46 and a 7. And that is barely fielding column 2. Again, another infield pop-up, infield fly rule still in effect with only 1 out. So 2 pop-ups. Can Baldwin get out of this mess with nobody scoring? Vernon's 2 for 3 with an RBI single back in the 3rd. And that's going to be 21. And runners on 1st and 2nd, and a 21 is going to be a fly ball out to center field. And he gets out of this mess with nobody scoring, folks. We go to the top of the 8th. It's still a 4-3 Toronto lead. Got the top of the order due up here. Kinsler, Hamilton, and Palmera. Alexander's due up 3rd here, in the 8th. Gonna see if he can make it through this inning. They got the bullpen up, though. Anybody reaches second base, he'll probably be taken out of the game. Kinsler, he's 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the third. That's going to be a base on balls. So he walks the tying run. That brings up Josh Hamilton. One swing and a bat here, and Josh can give the Rangers a lead. He's got an RBI double back in the third. And that's going to be a team wild pitch. Pass ball 3. So that's going to be a rare play on a 40, a 63, and a 40. 63 and a 40. And that's going to be hit down to back to the mound. And that's going to be a double play ball, folks. That's going to be a 1-6-3 double play. Not what the Rangers is looking for. Nice job out there by Doyle Alexander. Spins, throws down to Fernandez, over to Oderud. 1-6-3 double play. 2 outs and nobody on. And Raphael comes to the plate. And Palmera is 0 for 2. He did walk back in the second. Can he get on base here? Get the go-ahead run to the plate. And nope, that's going to be a ground ball down to Tony. And that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 4-3 Toronto. You got Stuart Witten, a pitch hitter for Alexander. And Shannon's 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and came around to score. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Elvis. And that'll be an easy first out. As you see, Texas's upcoming schedule. Got 2 more games here in Toronto. Then they go up to Chicago to play the White Sox for 2 games. Then they finally head home to play Toronto at home. Ernie Witt's a perfect 2 for 2. He's got a triple, a single, and been hit by a pitch. And they finally get him out. That's a ground ball down to Palmera. He'll take it himself for out number 2. And that'll be it for Alexander. He goes 8 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Not bad for old Doyle Alexander. And now let's see who's going to come off the bench here. And you got one lefty on the bench. Carlos Delgado is going to come off the bench. Try to keep this inning alive here and maybe give Toronto an insurance run. And Carlos is 0 for 4 on the year. We're looking for his first base hit. And nope, that's going to be a ground ball down to Elvis. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. To the top of the 9th we go. The Rangers trailing by 1. Let's see who's going to come out of the bullpen here to try to lock it down. And B.J. Ryan's going to come out of the pen. That'll be their closer for the year. See if he can get her done. This will be BJ's. And here's the pitch to Howard. And that's going to be a base on balls. Howard makes it down the first. And we'll probably have a pitch runner here for Howard. Let's see who's going to come off the bench here. So Rusty will pitch run for Howard. Where's Rusty at? There he is. So Rusty comes in. steal second here. It'll be a 32. Try to get in scoring position, a 62 or lower. And he makes it. Rusty gets down the second. Gets in scoring position here. So Rusty with a stolen base. The fourth inning. Can he do it again and walk it off? Well, won't walk it off. It's the top of the ninth and give the Rangers the lead. Here's the pitch to Pudge. And that ball is hit well. And we're at least going to have a tie ball game here, folks. And that ball might not be. That ball is hit in the right field. And even with Greer's speed, he's going to hold up with nobody out. So now we got first and third. And nobody out. And BJ's having a hell of a time here. And up to the plate steps. Oh, Blaylock. He's 1 for 2. He's walked and doubled. And they're going to play the infield in. Hank is 1 for 2. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second with the infield in. Let's see what happens here, folks, on a 62. And they're going to hold the runner at third, fire over to first, and get the out. On the 4-3, put it out. The runner will get down the second. So now you got second and third and 1 out. So now the go-ahead runs in scoring position with 1 out, and they're going to have to keep the infield in again. And Elvis comes to the plate. Elvis is 1 for 3. He has a double and came around the score back in the third. And he gets the job done. And that's a big swing and a miss. Ryan strikes him out. Now he's going to come off. And Juan Gonzalez is going to come out of the dugout. And here he comes. Can Gonzalez get the job done? Got the go-ahead run down at second. And Juan Gonzalez comes to the plate. He's batting .500 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. Here's the pitch from Ryan. And he gets the job done. That's a ground ball down the short. Over to first. And that's your ball game, folks. BJ made it interesting, but he gets through it. Nobody scoring. We'll take a look here at the box score. Nice game here today in Toronto. Very competitive. The Rangers and Jays and the Blue Jays, 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Rangers, 3 runs, 6 hits and 1 error. Pudge Rodriguez was the only Ranger with 2 hits with the homer. Also, they were 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 6 men on base. You had John Olerud and Vernon Wells with 2 hits and Ernie Witt with those 2 big hits. That big 3-run triple was the difference in the game. And they were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Toronto was and left 8 on. The Ryan Express goes 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, struck out 7. Baldwin comes in, pitches 2 innings of 1 hit ball. Alexander picks up his first win. Ryan his first loss. Alexander's 8 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 4, and gave up a homer. And BJ Ryan gets his second save, but he made it interesting. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 1. Take a look here at the standings now in the American League and the leaderboard. And the Yankees are now a game and a half up on Toronto. The Orioles are 2 games back. The Red Sox 2.5, and Tampa Bay 3. And in the Central, you got the Tigers now a half a game up on the Indians. And Kansas City's a game back. The Twins a game and a half back along with the White Sox. And the Rangers are now tied for the Mariners with the lead in the West. Oakland a game and a half back, and the Angels 2 games back. Jim Thome's leading the league with a .533 batting average. He's leading in homers, and he's leading in RBIs. Right now, he's got the Triple Crown, folks. Jim Thome off to a great start. And, of course, the ERA leaders is at 0. Bunch of pitchers tied for 1 win, and JJ whiffed 3 saves on the year. And obviously Jim Thome leading the American League in the MVP voting, and Jim Palmer right now with the Cy Young lead. I apologize for that. Darn internet. We got a storm coming through here. And let's see. The pitching matchup is going to be, let's make sure. Should be, what are they saying here? I don't think it's Witt and Holiday. Let's check it out here. He's going to be pitching for the Rangers. And it's going to be Yu Darvish will be pitching for the Rangers. Blue Jays. And it will be Holiday. It'll be Darvish against Holiday. Internet starting to act up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It don't cost you a dime. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out, hit that like button and leave a comment. Until next time, y'all have a great day. Take care.